Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you some of our features at Eisengard. You're actually looking at the product right now. This is not Google Slides, this is actually Eisengard. It's meant to look like slides because slides are comfortable. We like an open canvas where we can just drag, drop, and paint, right? That's the purpose here. It should be that simple, but under the hood, we are adding a lot of power. For example, these are just text boxes that you're seeing, but notice that they have reference addresses, these A, B, C, and that adds a lot of power because now you can connect them together and you can also link them to live data. All of a sudden, what you thought you were building with just slides become much more powerful. So let's get going. Once you have built something, what do? You can go into this play button and go into what we call the live mode. Essentially the same thing as in slides when you go into presentation. Let's do that. Let's full screen it. Let's take a look at an actual example. Say you're looking at retention data. You're trying to grow your startup and you're looking at retention on a daily basis. And here are the actions that you're taking, as well as the marketing spend. So you might be wondering, how do we get this data in here? Easy. I'm just gonna exit out of live mode and back into edit mode. Notice this is just yet another element on the slide. And you can pull the latest versions, you can push the cloud. Where did this come from? Just import the data. What do you import it as? You can drag and drop a CSV in there, link it to a Dropbox folder, Google Drive, Google Sheets. Just put in the URL, and you can even set it to replace the data sets, pull in the latest version of it every day, for example. Pull it from SQL tables, bunch of APIs. Even a data marketplace where we're seeding some data sets initially from sports, and we're going to be adding a lot more on climate pretty soon as well. So all these options, pull in the data and it'll appear just like a regular spreadsheet. If you're thinking, okay, fine, I pulled in the data, but this is not very useful. We need to take this and turn it into something more like this, a report, where you're saying, okay, our retention was 41.1%. And when, on those days where referral is on, it's actually 46, but when it is off, oh, it's only 35. Referral makes a difference. When Instagram is over 500, it's 47, but what if it's much lower? Oh, it's 42. Okay, that makes an impact too. Here's a time series on how retention is changing over time. So you can do some charting, and all of a sudden you took a static report and turned that into a dynamic interactive object. How did you do that? Super easy. Exactly like making slides. Each of these are just text boxes and a few shapes that you can just drag and drop wherever you want. And inside this, these are just formulas like in Excel. Click, point it to the data set, and you're good to go. So you can build these kinds of interactive dynamic reports that update live. Because say you're connected to a SQL table or a Google Sheet, these numbers will update real time as the data changes. You don't need to do anything. So you build it once and it updates by itself. So, okay. But the Excel ninjas in the room might be wondering, okay, between Excel and PowerPoint, I can probably whip something like that together, right? All right. You want to just do something a bit more powerful, where you're now trying to run predictive models. This is a logistic regression. You're predicting the retention based on the various features and the spends, exact same data that we were just looking at. You can run this regression and show the results without writing a single line of code with just a few clicks. You could even do more powerful things like, okay, you can turn that into an interactive widget where you say, oh, what if I increase my Instagram spend, but we turn off the referral program? Oh, not good. So you can run predictive scenario analysis on the models that you have run. Let's see how easy it is. New slide so that we can have some space. Go to machine learning, prediction, connect it to the data set that we were just looking at. Here we go. Take a look. Yep, date, retention, and all those features. Great. What model? All the way from simple regressions through GLMs, random forests, and more machine learning models. Let's keep it simple. Just a regression. predicting the retention based on badge, app, referral, Facebook, and Instagram. Run. That's it. We're done. You just trained a logistic regression to predict the retention based on those features and outputted that as a widget that you can interact with. Maybe you don't want to run regressions. Instead, you really want to show that retention data on a map. Say, here's the geo data by city. How are we doing? You can put pins where this data could be live streaming as the data changes. You could embed videos. You could do analytics in those pop-ups. You could even have time-lapse videos where you just add animations based on variables. You can have pop-ups show text, numbers, analytics, right? All of this, no coding, just drag and drop, like you would be doing it on a slide. Let's say you wanted to see a word cloud. Okay, I want to see what my customers are thinking. So I just pull that in here. Now let's say I want to visualize what these users are talking about this app. How do you do that? Click, text analysis, word cloud. What is the name of that data set? Text test. Maybe we'll say, okay, here's that data set. What do you want a word cloud on? I want to know why people thought what they did. Okay, just drag that variable there, remove the stop words, and we're done. That's a word cloud. What if you wanted to do a word cloud not just about all the entries, but only by the type of user? Easy. Add a dropdown to filter the word cloud. Let's say I want to know what people are thinking depending on how disappointed they would be if this app did not exist. That's what this column is. Okay, what are the values for that variable? Let's find out. Text test. And that's the variable. Bam. 3 values. Now you can choose any one of the 3. Let's say I want to know what those users who would be very disappointed if the app did not exist, meaning our biggest fans. What are they saying? Okay, what do? You just link this element, BF, to this word cloud. How do you do that? Click, go to edit, just scroll down, go to the filter. I say, oh, I don't want to see everything. I only want to see the ones where disappointed is equal to. I could either fix the value. No, let's actually make it dynamic. Link it to the element BF, right? BF. Boom. And we're done. So now you're seeing the words that the ones who like the app the most are saying. Compare that to the ones who would not be disappointed if the app did not exist, meaning the ones who don't particularly care for it. There you go. What do you do after you did all this? I want to take this deck that I made and I want to share it. How can I do that? Well, I could share it as a link. I can add collaborators, publish it to a link that I can embed or put on LinkedIn. I could even turn this into a paywalled app because we've integrated into Stripe. Just add a paywall. So what you thought was just a slide deck could be a lot of things. Could be just an infographic, a report, an interactive dashboard. It could even be an app or a mobile app if you did it in the mobile form factor. Now that you've seen some of the functionality of Eisengard, let me give you a quick peek into a few of the dashboards that we've built. They're not only powerful, but they can be beautiful as well. Thank you for taking the time to listen. We look forward to seeing how you will unleash the magic of Eisengard.